Hello.
So, we're another one without Tyler. Boo, how sad.
Oh,
Boo.
he fell in that well. I don't remember. I don't know if you guys remember from the last episode, but he fell in that well. We found his shoes that fell off before he went into the well.
Mm-hmm.
I can hear him playing around now. He's doing that thing when like everybody's getting out of the pool, but the last weird kid is just laying in the pool like he's dead. But like he'll look up every now and then because his mom keeps telling him about the hot dogs.
God.
But anyway, unrelated to all that, you guys have been invited to the mayor's birthday party.
Oh, shit, the mayor. Let's go.
And
also,
even
quick,
more exciting,
retcon real quick. It's Jingle Jangle now. I don't want anyone to question it when we're calling myself that. And you were you said Jingle Jangle. It's Jingle Jangle. Thank you. Please continue.
God,
yeah, cut that around. Cut around that. Put that somewhere else. Chop it up.
So, what are you guys doing? So, Jingle Jangle obviously got his invitation letter to the mayor's birthday today, but he got it last night, very legally. And,
yes, totally.
And Donnie Trovo,
he was dying to give him that letter.
he received yours
in the
first thing this morning. On your chest in the middle of the forest.
Yeah.
Who knows how it got there? You don't see anybody, but we're gonna start.
Mail must have got out here early this morning. I don't know.
We're gonna start with Jingle.
Jangool.
Jingle
Jangool. You can call me Jangool.
First, just in case, because I don't know the order. First, brief description of what does your character look like today on the day you're going to this big party?
He has like his like night prowlery kind of like what he was buried in, darker clothes, like his like from because he's a corpse man, but because he's going to a party and trying to like look the part, he's wearing very ostentatious like polka dots and like weird like abstract stripes on like a jester's sort of like vibe. Think like the Pennywise outfit, but way more tacky and colorful, and like the big frilly collar to kind of cover up the seam where he was beheaded, gloves and stuff, so you can't really see his skin, and he's wearing that same white wooden carved mask with the smile in the eyes, and not the stereotypical dingle dangly hat. He has like a hat with like a little single bell on the center of it that's kind of rounded and like puffy. Same sort of weird pattern. He's just really dressed up to look a part of like some sort of circus troupe maybe, or some sort of like entertainment like group. He's just gonna try to blend in that way.
I got it. So obviously you have the morning. The party doesn't start till 6, but that's also like guests are supposed to finish arriving by 5.
Yes. I think he would wait until like he would think that sort of like the people would start setting up. Like if they're setting up early, he would like be like looking to see when they're like going in to set up their stuff for the festivities, and probably as they're finishing up, maybe fall in line with a few people going in.
So if you want to do that, then I'll pause with you because I want to wait to describe the actual manor itself to see.
Fair. Yeah, I don't have anything.
So you're heading to the manor early in the morning, like when workers are coming in and out.
Yeah, whenever
it's normal for
like right as they're sort of finishing, kind of like maybe noonish. I'm feeling like they would be done and stuff would be already set up. They're just like either cooking food or getting their instruments out and set up inside and things like that kind of vibe. You know, not so much like the trucks pull up and he's there unloading boxes. Like he's kind of scoping, waiting for a moment to just stumble in with everybody.
Now, next, Donnie Trovo.
So we see Donnie basically just kind of waking up. He sees this little letter and is like kind of curious about it. He opens it and is like, oh shit, I get to go to a party. Let's go. He stands up. You see a young teenage looking like kind of young man. He's kind of thin, doesn't have any facial hair. He's got kind of like that Jon Snow haircut, but it's like dark auburn red. And it's like it's not as like thick as that. It's like kind of thin a little thinner. He's wearing like a cream tunic. He's got his color palette is kind of like cream and green. So his tunic is cream. His pants are gray, like kind of like a lightish gray. He's got a green cloak that kind of reveals one arm. The other arm is covered. Basically, as soon as Donnie wakes up, he's just gonna like wander. He's gonna go into town, talk to some people, see what's like good as far as food.
He would probably absolutely see me like walking the street.
Oh, really?
That time, if you're going around lunchtime, you said.
Yeah.
Wait, no. Well, I think he was just walking around during lunch. You're going straight to the manor.
Yeah. I'm just Donnie's very like adventurous, so he's just walking around, trying to find good food, trying to find good conversation.
Is this fantasy Guy Fieri?
Yes.
Okay, good.
No, I'm kidding. It's not.
So.
And then after that, he'd probably make his way over to the manor.
Okay, so I will, and this is going to throw a wrench in Jingle's plans.
Oh,
but
Jingle.
When you arrive to the manor, it is a huge estate just outside of the city. That the invitation's pretty easy to follow. You also it was an invitation, and the party is at Magic Manor, which is a very on the nose name.
Mm-hmm.
It's an on the nose name, but it's also like a very famous old manor. So it's like one of those things where, is it cliche if they did it first kind of thing?
Yeah, it's the first Magic Manor. The other Magic Manor,
like everything calls itself Magic now, but
nothing
like
but
it was the
slots
first,
and old people smoking inside.
Mm.
Yeah. But it is not a casino.
Lot of spill. They have got a great Arnold Palmer, but that's all they've got going for them. It'll fuck you up.
So, arriving at the gates of Magic Manor, it is this beautiful iron gate, and there's a tiny little like guard outpost thing, but it's on like the outside of the gate. So like you still have to open the gate. Like if you're a guard, you still have to open the gate to get through.
Mm-hmm.
And then you
don't see any carts out there? Any kind of like people coming in, or
you do see a row. You see a cart that's kind of to the side on the opposite side of the guard station. But there isn't a horse currently attached to it. Like it's just the cart itself. It seems like that hasn't been finished getting set up yet this morning. Mm-hmm. And you don't
I think as he's walking
up,
I think
you don't
as he's
currently
walking
see
up
anyone
to
at the guard station.
Yeah. Oh, I see it. You said I see the guard in the guard station?
No, you don't. It doesn't seem like there's anyone at the entrance. The gate is fully shut, and there is a hanging message like on the gate latch part, mm-hmm. if you wanted to investigate that.
Yeah, I think he does like a goofy little cartwheel, and out of his pant leg flies a albino raven and lands on his shoulder as he rights himself and walks towards the gate, kind of like in a silly jaunty gait, and he like lifts the note and looks at it curiously with his head cocked a little too far to the side.
And it reads, "Greetings, weary guests. Unfortunately, we won't be able to grant entrance into Magic Manor until well past noon. Please come back later.
Mm-hmm.
Best wishes."
Is there any notes to potential people who would be working the event, or are all those people like on premises help? Like, I'm asking you, the DM.
I would like you for that. I would like either an investigate, actually a perception, because you're trying to see
Yes.
Like
gonna
you're
be
kind of
peering
looking through the gate.
kinda.
Yeah.
Yeah. But as he reads the note and says that they should come back, he takes the wooden mask and turns it upside down so that his smile is a frown now. And he goes, "Aw," like in a very like very like animated like
But-
way.
But wait, is his like mouth all the way up on his forehead?
Yeah, it's up on his forehead now, yes, and the eyes are down at the bottom. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense
Oh
to
my
him.
god.
And then he writes it again as
God,
he begins to peer
he's
through the
Terrifying.
gate. That is you said perception?
Mm-hmm.
That's 8.
Oh god.
So
I rolled
then,
it like 6.
Did you forget to cut out eye holes?
No, it's because I'd say that, yeah. He's like fixing the mask and doesn't quite get it over his eyes, so he doesn't see exactly.
So I will say you can see even with an 8, you can see in the distance because like the manor itself is actually kind of far into this property. You can see there's movement around the manor area, but like you can't really make out anything beyond that. Like you can tell there's people at the manor itself, but other than that, you're not really especially with an 8, you can't even really like
I think
tell
then
yeah.
I think then he would
It kind
like
of just
call...
looks like ants on an anthill from far away.
No, for sure. I think he would call his albino raven to his hand and kind of give it a scritch under his chin and fly it over the gate. And I'll look through my raven's eyes to see what he sees.
Ooh.
That is beautiful. So I'm just going to describe what a bird's eye view would get you.
Yes. Like
If
not
there's
too
something
far up,
that-
but like
yeah.
enough to be.
Yeah,
not
no,
so
I don't
visible.
think I'm gonna make you roll. Like, no one's gonna think twice about a bird.
A bird flying,
over
yeah.
a massive like.
No, it's not massive. It's
especially-
like a regular white. It's just a white raven.
No.
If someone
The
knows
yard
their
is
birds,
massive.
they'd be like, "Whoa."
The yard is massive. I'm saying a bird flying over a massive yard is
Oh, fair.
extremely normal.
Fair.
So
That'd be crazy if a giant
as-
raven came out of my guy's pants.
that would
Oh
be
my
fucking
God.
terrifying. That would be noticeable. Right over the gate, the first thing you see is the fact that this entire estate is a massive, like 25-acre piece of land where all of it is a garden except the very center, like manor itself, which is a giant circular manor with a cone tower coming at the top. So it kind of looks like a giant wizard's hat in structure. And then, so obviously you see a lot of like flying over. You notice that it seems like even though all 25 acres are like this massive garden, it's all like a walking garden. So like it's meant to be roamed in, like, but it's divided up in what you can only guess is like seasons, because basically like one of the sections of the garden is actually very like, it looks really good. Everything is in bloom. And then like the sections that are close to it are kind of like, they're doing okay. They're not like, some things are blooming, some things aren't. They seem like they're kind of getting out of season or just coming into season. And then opposite that section, it's like nothing's blooming. Everything is like very barren. So like, it seems like they have this like circular garden where basically no matter what time of year, one section of it is in full bloom at all times.
Oh.
And there are, you can just flying over, there are tons of just like random workers.
Yeah, what is
like
the
our
weather?
groundskeepers, I guess.
What's the weather like? Is it like what season will we be in?
It's
Spring,
currently
summer?
it's currently winter.
Winter.
So
okay.
like there's a lot of like winter flowers and stuff. Like this is obviously a magical world, so most of like the winter plants are actually going to be more magical just because there's not very many natural plants that kind of bloom in the winter.
Okay.
But yeah, so it's filled with a bunch of different plants, like all kinds of like the giant like hedge things where it's like a hedge like structure or like person thing,
like topiary
Like-
kind of vibes. Yes.
like all 25, like again 25 acres, all walking garden, all extremely
crazy.
well kept.
Mm-hmm.
Extremely
Do I
well
notice
kept.
any groundskeepers while I'm doing that
Everywhere.
fire?
all
Yeah.
over the place
Okay,
in every
cool.
section, including the barren section, because even
What-
though it's barren, there's still a lot of work that has to be done to like maintain everything.
Mhm.
Like,
What
go ahead.
I'm trying to think of how I would describe that.
And
What?
to be clear, if it feels like I'm being vague with this, it's because I'm going off of your passive perception on my description. So if you want more information about something I say,
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Do I see them enough to see sort of a like common uniform amongst the groundskeeper kind of folk?
you can
Would I have to make a perception check for that?
you would have to either do a really good perception or getting closer, but there
Okay,
might be
I
a
think-
risk at getting in closer.
Is there like maybe a scarecrow kind of vibe in the midst of these gardening areas at all, close to like one of the areas?
There's definitely like gazebos and stuff that you could
Okay.
land on.
Yeah, I think
Um,
I would land on like the corner
Yeah.
edge of like the top of like a nearby shed to one of the
Mhm.
more work like whatever the more active winter farm is like garden section is.
Yes.
I would be
Yes.
perched on that looking to see if I can make out any
Okay, and
Any of their
something
uniform kinda looks-
something worth mentioning is the sheds are actually kind of like incorporated into the walking garden, where like, oh, it literally is a worker shed, but it looks like a small castle from the outside kind of thing.
yeah, so yeah,
Like-
on one of the like I guess it would be a thurible or something like that, like the
Mhm.
little edge of like those little like notched spots where like a guard would watch out. That's where
Yes.
my
Yes.
raven lands, and I
Perfect.
want to try to get a good look at one of their uniforms.
Okay, go ahead and give me an investigation because you're trying to get a good look at.
Yeah, I'm just looking at one
Yeah,
of the
you're trying to get a
groundskeeper
good
type of
look at
guys.
something.
Yes, okay. Investigation, you said?
Yes.
I'm not historically good at that with this character.
Oof.
This is a see-through dice, so I can't tell what that number is.
That seems like a flaw.
+1, that's 18.
18.
Ooh,
Okay.
Okay.
So
I got a 17 on a dice, I have +1.
So you do notice that they are wearing like a specific uniform. There's not necessarily like any kind of named thing, but it is like they are all wearing the same like overalls with like striped like
Mhm.
what is this material? I'm blanking.
like a not
Flannel.
not- yeah.
Flannel.
Flannel.
okay.
So they have blue flannel with blue overalls. It
Mhm.
doesn't look very like, but I mean they're not here for style, right?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
but
I think
other than that, like it's an extremely like you could probably go to the store and purchase this outfit. But you
I think
do notice just because you rolled so high on the investigation,
Mhm.
this the worker like so it's only worth mentioning, it's not like necessarily relevant. This particular worker is missing an ear, but not like it got cut off, but like it looks like it was just like a birth defect, is that he just doesn't have a right ear. But other than that, he doesn't notice you or anything. And like he just looks like a generic like 30-year-old man, like
Mhm.
whatever you imagined whenever I said 30-year-old man, that's what he looks like. Just take off an ear.
It's just me
Just
with
take
no
off
ear.
your-
Uh-huh.
I think upon seeing that, I would have my raven kind of fly back to me, and as he does, Jangul knocks 3 times on his wooden mask, and you see his entire form sort of like meld down as he becomes like a generic looking guy in that farm getup. He's not missing an ear like the other gentleman,
Yes,
but
no,
I
you're
am
fine.
using my at-will disguise self.
Ooh.
I love it.
And,
So
I'm not
what are
disguising
you
the
trying
raven
to
or
look like
making it go away.
specific?
I was gonna
are-
just hop the fence.
Oh no. Okay, so just to make sure, your disguise self, you're just shifting your clothes, or
No, I'm shifting myself to like a generic human man.
Okay. Got it.
Like just
That
like a
totally
nondescript
works.
human guy that I would have seen in my own travels. Short brown hair, like olive skin, and he's just in that farm get up with like some hazel eyes and like a like scraggly like patchy beard.
Okay. Uh,
And I'll come back to that because I want to hop the fence. Is the only other thing.
No, yes. I will. So I hate to do this to Matt, but I actually want to play this out a little while because
Okay.
Very
there's
good.
some interesting things will happen here.
Mm-hmm.
So you hop the fence. What is your plan? There are like, this is a huge acreage. So like you hop the fence. No one's anywhere close
Yeah, I think I just
right
would
now,
stroll
right?
the
Like you
farm.
had to actually fly a little bit. Like there's a lot of workers. It's 25 goddamn acres.
Right. I think I would just stroll the farm. The second I saw like a rake or some sort of like farm tool, I'd just pick it up and act like I'm carrying it to wherever.
So this
Just
is one
blending
thing that
in.
you do notice is that like everything is in its proper place. So,
Okay.
but I mean, like I said, there are
There's
sheds
no tools
also
in
scattered
use at the
throughout.
moment that seem like, or like a wagon where people are hauling stuff.
So you would have to get close. So you would have to
Yeah, I'm just
approach. So
strolling
the
in
only
then.
tool, but the thing I'm saying is, so
Okay.
they have sheds that you could open and just grab tools,
Okay.
or you could go to areas where workers are working, and they're gonna have tools around. But like,
Mhm.
there's no tools where like somebody left a bucket, and like
Mhm.
there's no one around. Like,
Yeah, I think I'd wander to
Yeah.
a close patch of a couple workers working together
Okay.
in like their section, not grab anything yet, just stroll over and kind of listen in on conversation.
okay,
The raven is on my guy's shoulder though too.
yes, okay. So as you approach them, I'd like you. Are you just walking? Right?
Yeah, just kind of like strolling by. He's not saying anything, and the raven's kind of just looking about, maybe pecking at its own feathers, cleaning itself every now and then.
So, and you're just kind of like, basically they're working. You find some people that are kind of actively like, basically like there's brick pathways,
Mm-hmm.
and they're basically like edging the grass and pulling weeds
Okay.
at the moment, and they're kind of
Yeah, I
like
think-
they're working like on opposite sides of the path, like going with each other, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
I think the raven would drop down off my shoulder, and me and the raven would start to collect and sweep together the weeds they're pulling, unless they have a bag they're putting them in. And
So there's a wheelbarrow there's a wheelbarrow on the cart that it looks like they pull and they throw it in, and then they move the wheelbarrow up a couple
yeah.
feet, and they're
Then,
doing
I
that
would
all
just
along
grab the
walkway.
wheelbarrow with a smile and kind of scoot it a bit closer to them, and just kind of give them a nod and walk back to the trailer. But the raven would like land on the wheelbarrow so I could hear any conversation they might be having.
They don't. They're focused on their work. Like
Okay,
they
they're not
don't even
talking?
like acknowledge
Crazy.
you.
Interesting.
They're
No,
just
no, no.
they're just quiet. And with your 12 perception,
Mm-hmm. Do they seem
So-
like I don't know if I would.
there is something off.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can, as something who is kind of inherently off yourself, there's a weird kinship to
Mhm,
these things
okay.
are off in a way that is familiar, but I'm not going to give you any more information
That's
without
totally fine. I think
just
I would
with your
like-
12, you can tell like that's not, they're off.
Yeah. No, my guy does not canonically speak, but through the raven's ability mimicry, he would kind of tap on the wheelbarrow and go, "How are you?" in like that weird, like off kilter raven speech.
Oh my god.
And I would wave at the two gentlemen and kind of gesture to the raven. Kind of, he can't talk. He's like kind of
Yes.
trying to signal that this is talking for him.
They don't respond in any way.
They don't. They look at me though.
Nope.
Oh shit. Okay.
Don't
scary.
acknowledge you in any. They don't acknowledge you in any way.
Okay. Yeah, fucking-
At one point, while you're holding the wheelbarrow, one of them gets up to move it, and will like fully like basically like step through you to grab
yeah,
it
like
and
bump
move
me
it
out of the
forward.
way almost like he's
Yeah,
on a.
like not like basically as if you didn't exist. Not,
Yes,
like,
no.
pushing you out of the way. Just
Yeah, no.
As if you didn't
These guys
exist.
are basically like on an automation thing to do this. Is what I'm kind of Kyle. This guy.
and I will say, even with a 12, because this one is getting so close to you, this worker One, you can like see like there ain't nothing going on
1,000
behind
yards
those
stare.
eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like they are human. Like it is a human body, but like there's just like if the
lights are on, but no
if
one's home.
yeah, exactly. And this one is missing a nose.
Oh, fuck.
Not like he lost it, just smooth where his nose should be.
Interesting. He's got that Krillin face.
But yeah, so they're gonna keep working.
Yeah, I think I'd
And
fuck
they're just-
off further in then, since they don't give a shit. I want to test some boundaries. If like I go
Yeah.
past a certain point, will they look at me or something?
Yeah. So are you moving towards the manor, presumably?
Yeah, I think I'd leave the wheelbarrow and start wandering inward towards the more inner manor part of the establishment. The
Okay.
Raven follows me as well.
And you're just walking casually, correct?
Yes.
Just like kind of walking.
I think
along
I
the
would
path?
like, if there was like you said there was a cart that with the wheelbarrow, I would grab like a tool off of that and kind of.
Okay. Yeah. No. That's you could totally steal one of their like weeding tools or whatever.
Yeah, just like a hedge trimmer or something.
Okay. Then as you're kind of walking around with that, nothing. You're passing multiple workers because I'm
Mhm.
assuming you're just walking towards the
Yeah,
manor,
and
right?
something I would like to see too as I'm doing that. I'm not like making it obvious, but my Raven is looking about. Am I noticing more facial features missing from these workers?
Roll a perception.
Ooh, my first good roll, 19 plus perception.
Mm-hmm.
My perception is +2, so 21.
Ooh.
21.
21.
You pass
Yeah,
a
17
good
wasn't
number
bad.
of workers while you're going toward the manor, and not all of them are missing facial features, but
Interesting.
all of them are deformed in some way.
That's
Missing an
fucking-
arm. Some of them they're more subtle. Some of them like
Mhm.
their arm is just slightly too short.
Mhm.
Or like one of their eyes is a bit lower than the other one. Like all of them seem to have like these birth defects.
Gotcha. I think in that moment, noticing that, he would pass his hand over his mouth and make it a completely blank spot.
Okay.
Like visually, it looks blank.
Yeah.
There's no mouth, no lips, no anything. And the Raven just stays on his shoulder.
Perfect. Okay.
We can cut away if you're not ready to quite do any manner.
No.
shit. Oh,
This
okay.
is
Because this is like, he's not scared because this is like totally his bag. Like he saw this when he died, type of
Yes.
energy. Like,
so, and yeah, this is. I don't want to speed through this.
no. Yeah. and
This
I don't
is
wanna-
very fun, and I actually think it might just be the case, depending on how this goes. The first part of the actual party might just be like Donnie by himself, because like your shenanigans might get you in a situation where you won't be able to come.
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
party
That's what
countdown.
I'm not going
So like
into
it's
any.
possible that it'll end up balancing out, but I don't want to rush
Yes.
you or anything. I
I-
like what you're doing. This
Yes,
is
I
fun.
need you to know too. He is not doing anything like that a worker wouldn't do. Like I'm not going into
No, yeah.
buildings. I'm staying
Yeah,
out
no,
in the
no.
open how they are. Occasionally, maybe
Yes.
stopping at a topiary with those hedge trimmers and like letting the Raven peer around. That's how he's seeing. But he is
Okay.
focused on fake working, while the Raven is his eyes.
So, with that high perception, I will also give you. So you're going to get all the way to the manor.
Mm-hmm. I think at that
And-
point,
Go ahead.
the Raven would fly to a vantage point closer to the manor than I would feel comfortable getting with my personal body. Like he's gonna stay at like if there's like a hedge something or some kind of gardeny vibes decorating the outer portion of that manor, he would pretend to be working in that while the Raven continues to move more inward.
Got it. What
Like
is
describe what I see when I'm pulling up to the front of the actual face of the manor.
Oh, so are you approaching from the front of the manor?
Wherever that road led.
Okay. Because so like there's the main road for carts, but then
Mhm.
obviously the whole garden is like walkway.
Yes,
So you
yes.
could approach it from multiple directions.
I'm gonna follow from whichever path that walkway from the winter section.
Okay,
leads.
yeah. So that's actually like the walking path. That's not the winter section is like on the right of the
Yeah.
cart.
So
it's
what I'm
winter.
saying, to make it more
Yeah,
clear
yeah.
for you, what I'm saying is we were at the winter thing with those workers.
Yes.
I am leaving from that path on a path workers would be on, but as
Yes.
close to the manor as I can get before having to let the Raven go do more reconnaissance. Right?
Got it. Okay,
So,
so
like, if there's a fence
these walking
dividing it or
paths
something.
go all the way to the manor. Like, so
Yes.
around the manor, there's a couple of like smaller side doors that are just kind of letting out.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, like, there's like a kind of porch area around the manor, everywhere except like the very front where there's this big grand entrance.
Mm-hmm. Do I see, now that I've approached this area a bit, any difference in like workers, like a guard, more established guard, like.
So you don't see any guards, still just workers. You do, as you get closer to the manor, the whole manor, like the whole circular, like 2-story section of the manor
Mm-hmm.
is actually like huge glass panels in. And so you can like look in because it's in the middle of broad daylight, and you can see a bunch of like butlers running around inside. And it's like, it is a 2-story structure, but like these rooms are just like massive rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, because of like glare and stuff, you can't really get good, like without getting very close to the glass.
Is
to
there
get
a
good
place
picture.
that the Raven could perch near one of these windows?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, I'd like to do that then. And
Okay.
if I have to roll another perception or investigation.
Roll a. Well, so I'll just tell you what.
Would I like,
I'm not going to tell you what actions to take.
okay,
If you
okay.
have your bird approach the window, I'll describe what you get from just passive looking at the window.
Then let me cover my ass a little bit.
Okay.
Could I do a deception check as Jangul to foe working closer to that area so I can kind of keep within contact of my Raven, because like a Raven only has like so much feet before I don't see through its eyes or whatever.
Yes. Okay. Yes. So I think that would be performance.
Okay, either one. I'm good with both.
Yeah.
Come on, roll that beautiful beam footage. I think that's a 20. I think because this is a Scanlan dice and it's got a little music note for the 20. Yeah, because that's a 1. This is a natural 20.
Let's go.
I got a natural 20 plus 6.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
As he is fully committed to this drone-like behavior, because that's like he's not to like assign too much, but my character is like, that's his whole deal. Blend in.
No, okay, I'm about it.
Until
So
it's time to not blend in.
Because you rolled such a high performance, I will give to you something that you only picked up on because you've looked at all of these workers. None of the overalled workers pass the threshold of like the entrances into like the little garden walkway area is like, it's like a bunch of like there's multiple, but they're all like the pretty like kind of like
archway kind of deal.
Arch of vines, or like they're not of that, but they are all very like ornate like entrances in. None of them have crossed that threshold.
Then
into
I would
like
be on
the lawn
I would be on a
area.
cusp, like up against a wall of where that archway is, working something, and the Raven would then take off from me to do the reconnaissance.
Perfect. So that'll get you within 30 feet of the building itself, because basically. Actually, I'm sorry. No, it would get you within 60 feet of the building itself, because it's 30 foot of lawn and then 30 foot of like nice, like outside, like chairs.
Also, I don't know
and
if you
tables
need
and
this
stuff.
because you asked about this earlier. The passive perception on my Raven is different for me. It's 13.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
And his AC is 12.
Okay. All right. And so where is your Raven going specifically? If you're
to perch closer to one of the windows, like where you said there was some,
and you're
some
coming from
movement
the
of
winter
butlers.
section, right?
Yes.
Okay,
Wherever
perfect.
I am right now, I want to kind of, because that seems like the more popular right now that they would showcase if they get a walkthrough of the
No, there's
gardens
definitely
and stuff.
the most workers are in that area just because that's the one blooming, so that's the most work.
I want to see if maybe that's where like like what I was asking you earlier. This is where I would be seeing if this is where the help is all really congregated, including that inside portion.
So, looking through the glass as your raven, you see inside there's just kind of a bunch of butlers and maids like running around setting up tables and chairs and different areas. It looks like just from the glass of this room, this looks like the massive like ballroom. And so like there's this, and this massive room is actually tiered.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's an upper loft area that's kind of like not like about a third of the way into the room.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole room is structured like a segment of a circle, if you can
Mm-hmm.
imagine that. So like,
yeah, like
it's
it goes up in
it's
tiers,
rectangular,
kind of.
but it bends slowly.
Yes.
And
Almost like a
there's
bleachery, like auditorium-y vibe.
no. Like there's the room itself is like a curved rectangle that's like it's a segment of the circle of the building, circumference of the building.
Okay, yes. Okay, I'm
And
understanding
it's a very large, like it takes up, like it runs the length of almost that whole like winter region, which obviously is much smaller than 25
Yes,
because as
but I
you
get
get
what you
into the
mean.
circle, things get smaller. But anyway,
Mhm.
it's still a massive room. But then inside of it, like there's this huge ballroom floor, and then there's a loft area that you can see like tables and stuff. So it's kind of like the bottom area is more for dancing, and the upper area there's like a piano and like there's tables. So that's like maybe for guests to dine in this area. And there's little like staircases along the side, but it's interesting that you mentioned the bleacher thing, because the stairs actually do have like that like bleacher-esque look, like they can like go
where it's like,
like
a tiered sort of.
yeah, well, it can be like pushed in and out more like it can like
Okay.
it can be pulled out, like it doesn't have to
Mhm.
be stairs, like you can get rid of the stairs kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. No. I totally understand what you mean.
And as you're seeing that, one of the butlers who is wiping the glass sees the raven, stops, looks directly at the raven.
Mm-hmm. It just starts pruning its feathers and kind of like cocks its head curiously.
How much health does the raven have?
Oh god.
It has 1 hit point.
The raven's head explodes.
Oh,
yeah, and
fuck.
and its body falls and fades away, but he doesn't see it as it falls.
And then another worker who was somewhere in like the outer patio area, without skipping a beat, just stops what they're doing, walks over, cleans up the raven's dead body.
Before the raven hit the ground, it dissipated.
Oh,
Like
it just.
saying,
I'm sorry, I
saying
missed that.
He saw its head explode. It falls out of his sight and it's gone because familiar.
So as soon as the raven's head explodes, one of the workers. Oh, by the way, it exploded silently. Didn't make a sound.
No.
Outside
for sure.
outside of the sound of like an explosion didn't happen. The bird's
I can't see
brain
anything
flew
out of that.
apart.
Like,
Yeah.
no, I know what you mean. So the raven's gone. So my visual in that area, other than you're describing to me, Kyle,
Yes.
is no longer.
And then from your vantage point,
Yes.
after you're like jutted out of your raven,
Yeah.
you see
I'm
a
still
worker.
back in that working mode because I got that 20
Yes.
on that deception. I'm still just pretending like I'm working.
You see a butler in that little what do you call patio? Is
Like
patio
a
the right word?
Pavilion.
Like the pavilion kind of like
Oh
overhang.
yeah, I guess it's a pavilion area. Yes.
Yeah.
So like in the pavilion area, you see one of the butlers like stop doing what they're doing, not having seen the raven,
Mm-hmm.
turn around, go to walk towards where presumably there would be a dead body,
Mm-hmm.
look down, make like kind of a confused face, and then go back to doing what it was doing. And the same thing with the butler, like as soon as it exploded the Well, you don't know it did it, but as
Yeah,
soon as the raven's head exploded, it went right back to wiping the window.
No, that's totally fine.
But that's it. After that, they all just go back to autopilot.
Yeah, I think with seeing that butler out in the pavilion, because that was one of the questions I was going to ask you, if there were some of the butler like workers out there.
Yes, some of the butlers are out in the pavilion. None of them have stepped on the lawn.
No, that's totally...
Neither butler nor worker have touched the lawn.
Yes, absolutely. And there's pathway that leads into there, so it's totally fine. What I would like to do, and then we can cut over to Matt, is like sneak over to like a barn or like shed like area where they have the tools for the groundskeepers, and Mask of Many Faces change into one of the butlers. Same nondescript guy, but now it's in a butler uniform.
Okay, perfect.
But he has his mouth back, because I haven't seen if the butlers are missing anything like the other guys.
I will say the
bird saw.
Yes.
Before he exploded.
They didn't seem to have any kind of
Perfect. Then ditch the patchy beard, clean shaven, slicked back hair, mouth and everything. No raven this time, but I'll summon him he's in my rib cage. he has like a little perch inside of my ribs.
Oh my god!
He's got like a little nest in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
He's just chilling in there, recouping until I.
There's a little. You got like a little like door that opens up.
Oh, I just figured I'd flop down the cummerbund on my butler outfit and just let it come out of the bottom of my shirt.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I'll say it's around noon. It's around noon, probably 1. Yeah. The sign you saw earlier, like it didn't specify when, but the invitation said people can't arrive, or everyone should arrive by 5.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
no, I think with this...
You don't know when they're going to open, but they are getting closer to
I think with this and noticing them not being on the lawn, he becomes the butler and immediately is on the path. Stiff, like very postured.
Oh, hold on. This is important. No one's on the path. So, and also there isn't a like walkway from the pavilion to the garden. Like you have to, like, it is just like grass.
Okay,
so like,
then you know what I'll do? I'm going to use a spell slot. Here we go. Minor illusion. And I will minor illusion the corpse of the exploded raven in my hand and walk back from that area into the courtyard with it.
So this is because this is actually important. Okay. I need clarity on how are you getting.
So let me ask you this, because I saw this guy walk out of that area that these farm workers aren't to go look for the raven, didn't I? He was going to look for the
No. You had the raven perch by the window. Oh. So the raven was in the pavilion area.
Yes. Okay. Interesting.
The raven was in the pavilion area, because otherwise they wouldn't have been able to get close enough to the window to like get a good view. So he was in the pavilion area. There are only workers in the garden. There's a couple of workers nearby. I'll start dividing. There's a couple of groundskeepers nearby that shed where you turned into the butler. Mm-hmm. So you've got to get, there's the garden where there are no butlers. There's 30 feet of lawn, and then there's butlers and maids working. So there is.
Okay. Yes,
I'm not saying like
no. You're good.
I need a very good picture of how you're getting from the shed.
I'm going to change up the plan so that I can sneakily get into that area. I'm going to use a 3rd level spell, and I'm going to cast Major Image of the raven in that pavilion area.
You could do it with Minor Image, right?
I don't know if I have Minor Image. Let me double check before I do it, because I have,
or Minor Illusion. I mean,
let me see. Yeah, I don't have Minor Illusion. I only have Major Image.
Then yeah, I mean that just means you'll be able to add like a lot of detail to it.
Oh, I do have Minor Illusion as a cantrip. Yes, I do. Okay. Yeah. No, I'll do Minor Illusion then as a cantrip and have the raven kind of like hobbling with its head kind of hanging broken, like its neck broken, around an area, like moving about, like just like flapping its wings and kind of trying to fly off, like it's not getting quite off the ground, to try to distract whoever's in that little courtyard area to go get it and deal with it. And then as soon as they're drawn to that attention, like if I need to use Major Image to really sell this to them, I will. but I'm trying to make a distraction away so I can sneak into that courtyard area and kind of stand present or be with them as they're going to deal with the raven.
Okay. Then what I want from you is I want a performance and a stealth. Stealth from you.
Performance for the raven.
I guess for the raven image, which is still you again. But
would that be at advantage? The performance one?
I would actually say it's at disadvantage because they blew up its head.
Yeah, and
so it's going to be hard to believe a headless bird is.
It's like dangling on, like it's like I'm not being gory for the audience, but it is like I'm trying to make it look like it's like.
I'm not saying you can't pull it off.
Yes,
but I'm saying it will be at disadvantage.
No, that's fine. Okay. Ooh, let's see this. Oh, another 19. Please be something close to that. Well, it's not a 19. It's half of that. It's 8 plus 6.
Okay, so it's 14 for your performance. Now roll your stealth.
And my stealth, that is 14.
So, as you start the raven going, and you start to sneak from the shed toward the lawn, your raven performs. None of the workers seem to acknowledge it. And then one of the butlers on the patio, or actually one of the maids on the patio, sees you, stands perfectly stiff, and then as she does, so does every butler and maid and every worker.
And I'm going to totally do the same thing. And like
they all stand straight up and all face you.
Yep, and I face the same and not skipping a beat. I'm facing the direction that they're all facing.
They're all around you, facing towards you. So what?
Wait, it's not. How did they surround? Wait,
the ones behind you.
Oh, the workers too,
looking at you. As soon as the maid saw you and stood perfectly straight, every worker you can see, butler, maid, groundskeeper, all of them within a 360 around you, stopped working immediately, stood straight up, and faced you directly.
Oh, man.
There is a circle of things staring at you, and I'm using things very specifically.
I am now going to cast the 3rd level spell that I said I was going to, of non-detection.
I need you to tell me the verbiage of that spell because it better say they already have detected you.
For the duration, you hide a target you touch from divination magic. That target can't be a willing creature or a place. That target can be a willing creature or a place or object no larger than 10 feet in dimensions. The target can't be targeted by any divination magic or perceived through any magical scrying sensory.
Okay, they're looking at you with their eyes. So that doesn't really do anything.
It's obviously not that. Something made them all like,
No, there's definitely some weirdness going, but they do just have eyes, like human eyes.
Oh.
Not all of them have all their eyes, but they are just looking at you with human eyes. And
with eyes wide open.
The closest 30 workers, combination of maid, butler, and groundskeeper, they all just slowly start taking steps towards you directly, like walking,
Misty
like
step.
not walking over the path.
Misty
totally
step.
fine.
Misty step.
Where are you going?
I want to look for the nearest like overhang or like rooftop kind of area that I spotted with my raven, and just I'm up there.
So what is the range of Misty Step?
30 feet.
The only roof you could get to would be the roof of one of the sheds in the
fine.
garden area.
And I'm going to go flush.
It's still shed height, so you're just like 10 foot in the
and
air.
I'm immediately going flush with the side of the roof or like flat, just some kind of potential like...
I need a stealth check from you at disadvantage because they already know you're around and it is in broad goddamn daylight.
Yeah, that's fine. That's totally fine.
Jesus
That's totally fine.
Christ.
That's totally fine. Okay, that's great. That's a fucking 20. Of course it would be. And that one is oh no. That's a 14.
Okay. Well, they got a natural 20.
Oh god.
So you teleport, and at first they were all looking at the spot, but one of them looks like it almost follows a trail to where you went. Like as if it can see something that isn't there. It's like it's
Even
just
with
following
non-detection? God.
it didn't detect you. It detected
The magic, yep.
it detected the path of the magic.
Mm-hmm.
God.
God.
But it does seem like they can see they can see things that normal people can't see.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. So one of them spotted me do this.
But
Yep.
when one spots you,
they all
spot you.
God, fuck.
So, and again, but here's actually an interesting thing. The ones that were like kind of walking towards you, some of them go back to what they were doing. It's only the 30 closest to you that then start slowly taking steps towards you.
Mm-hmm.
And so like that's some of the ones that were already getting close to you. But now it's basically all like groundskeepers.
It's just one of the butlers just sprawled out on the roof, freaking out. The rest of the butlers and workers are looking. I don't know. I don't know what I'm supposed to do in this scenario.
I will say, as you get further away from the manor, the population of the workers gets like smaller and smaller.
Yeah.
And you're in the winter area, which is the most populated of groundskeepers.
Mm-hmm. I know.
So
I can't do anything else that I can think of other than Misty Step again, but the motherfucker's
I will say there are very big gaps between the groundskeepers right now because they were working spread out from each other.
If there's
but
a
every
further
second you take to think about this, the gaps are getting smaller.
Yeah, you're good. If there's a second farther shed, a 30-foot farther shed that I can hop to, I'll Misty Step again.
Okay, I will let you do this, and I will say that if you do that, you do have an opening where there aren't any workers in the direction of the property, like the property line.
Yes. I'm just trying to make my way back to that kind of gate area.
So
that's the beeline.
It's 25 acres, so teleporting 30 foot at a time, you'll probably run out of spells long before you get there. So
no, that's fine.
I would suggest jumping off the shed and hauling ass.
Shit.
And that can get you there.
I guess I'll do that. I'll instead of going to another shed, I'll just 30-foot pop onto a trail and just start booking it as one of the guys. Full dash.
That is totally fine. None of them, like, you can see, like, they all follow you, but in very, like, they're just walking. Mm-hmm. And it's just 30 of them. So it's not a whole, but like there's who knows how many workers here total, but
yes,
they're just walking. And so you very quickly like get away from them.
Mm-hmm.
Still, nobody's at the gate still.
Yeah, no, I'm just dipping back into the regular town. And as soon as I'm out of the property lines, I'll drop the disguise and just dip behind like a...
Are you going to look back?
Nope. Not even a little bit. I know what's waiting at that gate. They're at that gate like this. For those of you at home, I just stared dead into the camera, just like, yeah, no, that's fucking...
I like that you knew.
You wouldn't know it because
I like that you knew they all stop at the gate and just stare at you and then go, and then they turn around and go back to whatever the fuck they were doing.
Yep. As soon as I'm out of their eyesight, once they turn away, that's when I drop the disguise and I'm just strolling back into town. He does like a comical and like wipes fake sweat off his mask. And he just kind of strolls back into town.
All right. Then at this point, I just need one more thing from you, and then we're gonna have both of you guys arrive. What is your plan in terms of they have now seen?
They saw me as a butler. I made it a point that they don't know what my OG looks like.
Oh, you're right. You did say you made yourself look
still
like
the
a generic
butler.
human.
Yep, I was a generic butler from there.
Well, I was more worried about the face, but yes, you're right.
Yeah, no, he didn't look like. It doesn't look like his face. He made just a random passerby from his travels. So if that dude strolls around here, they're gonna know that that's that guy. Just a random
And,
human man.
The last thing I'll give you, because you made eye contact with a good number of these workers, you noticed that the groundskeepers with the most severe deformities were the ones furthest from the manor.
Mm-hmm.
And none of the butlers and maids had any deformities. It's just the groundskeepers with deformities, and the deformities got worse the further away from the manor you got.
I think that strikes a chord in him for sure. No. That definitely strikes a chord in Jangul for sure. I think he does take a break. He's not like scared, but that like gave him the ick. It's like if he was in a room with a bunch of him and they were all under somebody else's control and not his own, weird, crazy machinations. I think he just strolls back into town and just kind of goes and waits in a tavern, kind of not busking, but like doing weird, creepy shit for passersby, like juggling, making the raven come out of his rib cage.
Oh God!
Good. Okay, so Donnie Trovo, when do you arrive to the party?
Cut to Donnie. Donnie's just eating a little muffin. So Donnie's been chatting up the locals, trying to get an idea of like what this party's all about.
You're trying to get some intel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roll a persuasion.
Ooh. I might be good at that. I don't know. I made this character yesterday, so we'll see.
Because basically this is, I'll actually roll.
Wow.
Roll with it.
First.
Roll. Oh, what you get?
First roll of the night for me. Natural 20. Let's go,
nice.
bitch.
I was about to give you advantage, dude.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it.
So persuasion plus 6, 26.
Okay. All right. So I will say this is going to take
Donnie's
the
real
afternoon,
friendly.
but you're basically like, you're chatting people up, and what you learn is, one, this manor, no one's sure who owns it.
Okay.
But
a little Willy Wonka situation.
It was actually like it was quiet. Like people didn't even know anyone like it was very Willy Wonka-esque, where like people knew there were workers and stuff there, but like about a year and a half ago, it started throwing a monthly party.
Okay.
And it was always somebody's birthday party.
Okay.
And it seemed like it was never like the owner's birthday party. It seemed like there was like some kind of weird, like, supposedly like there is like in the party, it's decided whose birthday is celebrated next month kind of thing. So like, it seems like a guest of the last party the next party is going to be their birthday party. And like, it's been happening once a month, like since then, but who is invited seems very random.
Okay.
Like some people get it in the mail normally. Some people, they just find an invitation. Like it is very golden ticket-esque, where it's like, oh, and
interesting.
And anyone, if you start trying to talk to people who have been to the party, I'm not sure, like, would that be an avenue you'd go down, or would you just want to hear kind of indirect gossip?
I think whatever information Donnie could get, Donnie
will
follow.
Basically, if you're just going to ask random people, it's a big city, so the odds you run into a person who was at the party is pretty low. But you would be able to, like, basically, if you want to go that direction, I'll give you different information to if you just want general direction. Not better information, different information.
I think he'd
because like town gossip is different information from party goer gossip.
Yeah, I think it would just be general gossip is what Donnie would look after. Yeah,
totally cool. I just wanted to see what kind of information you were digging for.
Yeah.
So, everyone knows, like, they open gates at 3:00.
Okay.
They close gates at exactly 5. Like they open at 3, they close at 5.
Okay.
They always invite oh my God, I'm blanking on the number. came up with. They always invite 120 people.
Oh,
exactly
shit.
120 people.
120, that's a lot of people.
This is a massive manor. It's a lot of people.
Okay.
Let me think. There's always 120 letters that go out. Or I'm sorry. I'm an idiot. I fucked up my own math. There's 60.
Okay.
60 letters. The number is important, and I'm sad I got it wrong because I fucked things up. Don't worry about the number. Number doesn't mean anything. Don't worry about it. There's 60 guests.
That means the number means something.
No, it doesn't mean anything. Shut up. I fucked it up. It's fine.
Do the math at home.
There's always 60 invitations sent out.
Okay.
So 120 people.
Everyone has only heard like nothing but like good things, like, oh, the food is like the tastiest food supposedly.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem like very many people have actually gone, because like 60 times 18,
Yeah.
like that's a lot of people, but you're in a fucking city of thousands of people.
Yeah.
So like,
Can I do an insight check to see if anyone knows, like, is all this information, like, I heard it, like, through, like, 3 friends, or is it, like, direct, like, oh, I had a buddy that went?
so some of it is like, oh yeah, I had a buddy who went. Some of it is like the local like fruit sellers and stuff, like they know when the party is because they get big orders for this day, like prepare it for this. One thing that is definitely notable that you just kind of pick up on is it seems like any kind of like actual like cooking and stuff is done in-house, because there's no, like, the bakers don't get any extra sales from it, and they actually get kind of annoyed. Like, it seems like it's just the raw like supplies to cook food.
Okay.
So it seems like the manor has an in-house cooking staff.
Okay.
There might be a better word for it. But yeah, so like, and it's one of those things where it's like, because of that, you can kind of see like the energy. Everyone knows the party is today.
Mm-hmm.
And like, you can kind of see like in the market and stuff, like the farmers and stuff are pumped because they're like, I just got so much money. And like the bakers are annoyed because it's like, they're more annoyed in that like they're jealous of the other people for getting a big sale that they're not getting.
Let's see.
But yeah.
So
and also it seems like everyone wants to go to this party because everyone has only heard about how awesome this party is. Okay. And some of them are even like, my birthday's next month. I could have been the next birthday. God.
Oh man. Okay, so Donnie likes what he's hearing. Donnie's very gullible in the sense of like Donnie loves the wonders of the world. He loves to get out and see just everything that life has to offer. So he cannot wait to get to this party. What time would you say it is currently?
For 5.
In order to get all this information, I would say you could get there right at 3:00 if you want.
Okay. I think after a certain point, he would be so excited, like he literally could not handle it anymore, and he's gonna sprint to the front gate.
That is totally good. Oh, one last piece, because I did realize I should have given you this. Even though it doesn't say on the invitation, you do hear through your gossip that it is an overnight party.
Oh, okay. A sleepover.
Yeah, like it's a sleepover.
Oh man.
Very much so.
Cannot wait.
So like people go in like starting at 3, ends at 5, and they don't come out till like 6:00 the next morning.
Okay.
And that's like the earliest. Like they just open the gate back up at 6, but then they like close it for people to leave like around noon. So like, that way they don't force people to like wake up at 6 a.m. after a party.
Yeah.
Like,
did you actually read the letter? Like what does the letter actually say?
The letter is actually very like simplistic. It just says, greetings and salutations.
Does it say my name?
No, it does not.
Okay.
It's a generic letter.
Okay.
But it is very, the ink seems to be like golden ink on like very nice, like cardstock paper.
Yeah,
Like it's a
very
very
elaborate.
Nice, yes.
Yeah.
And it says, "Greetings and salutations. You have been cordially invited to attend the birthday party of the great and wonderful mayor." I hadn't come up with a name for him yet. Mayor Phillips, sure.
Mayor Phillips, let's go.
Yeah. The great and wonderful Mayor Phillips.
Dr. Phillips?
No, he's the mayor. He's
Mayor
not a
Dr.
doctor.
Phillips.
Mayor Dr. Phillips. No,
Mr.
not a
Mayor
doctor.
Dr. Phillips.
Dr. Phillips is his brother. Phillips is
You know
actually
what?
the last
I've
name.
never been invited to one of these parties. Open the door or I'm going to...
Listen, Dr. Phillips actually hasn't been invited, and if you think he's not salty about not getting an invitation to his own fucking brother's birthday
Yeah, I
party,
saw him outside the
That's
gate.
some
He said,
bullshit.
open the gates or I'm going to throw rocks at your castle manor.
And how does that
but
make me feel? It makes me feel pretty upset.
I just realized you guys are making Dr. Phil jokes. I'm so fucking stupid.
Open the door so the
Open the
jokes
door.
can come in, Jeremy.
God damn
Jokes
it.
are at the front door, Jeremy.
But it says the date, like you've been invited to attend, arrive no later than 5, and we look forward to your visit. With gratitude, Magic Manor.
Oh, I got my letter.
And you
from
hear a
Magic
whisper
Manor.
as you read
Magic Manor.
There's
And
a little tiny poof of sparkle.
Some perfume.
Yeah, it smells like
No, a
lavender.
pixie just farted nearby. It was
Oh, okay.
I'm heading to my 9 to 5. Sorry about that, kid.
Yeah. So yeah, sorry.
I shouldn't have had that chalupa.
Donnie probably would have read that like
Because
first.
my
I just
house.
wanted to retcon that because I don't think we actually had that.
No,
But-
that's fair.
But yeah, so Donnie's sprinting towards this gate. Like Donnie cannot wait.
All right. So what time? So Jingle, did you kind of like stay in the area because you didn't know it you didn't know it opened exactly at
Yeah, no,
3.
I would have been... I
just
figured
knew
that
the
whole
cutoff was
romp of
5.
me like investigating maybe took like 10, 20 minutes. So I would be
Hmm.
in town around like 11:30 or noon.
Oh no! It took a while because you're not
Oh.
thinking about the fact you had to go
Oh yeah, acres, multiple acres.
multiple
Yeah.
acres. Like
Yeah.
if it's 25
So how
acres total, I think you would have had to travel 5 acres, right?
Mhm.
Like if you straight lined it, I might be doing math improperly.
Yeah, I've never traveled by acre.
It would like
It'd
it would
be 2.5 if the thing's in the middle. If the
miles.
if
yeah.
it's 25.
And then these 3 idiots proceeded to try so hard to do math, and fail so hard at trying to do math that their wiener and butts exploded everywhere. Whilst their god, of the holy smokes, resuscitated them, he solved the math problem because it was so easy. Amen.
So it's outside the thing. It is a massive like it
It
is.
is the
huge
outskirts
thing.
of town. It's not on the outskirts of town. That is what it is.
Yeah, and like I said, the whole thing is a garden.
So yeah,
Oh
however
my
long
God.
you want to do the math, that's how long it took me to get back into town before party time.
Yeah.
I would have traveled back in and went straight to a tavern and just
So-
kind of kicked it there for a bit.
Just for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to say that both of you get to the gate right at 3:00, and there is already, actually, yeah, I'll say there's actually already kind of a line, so to speak, because like people are arriving, and the carriage now has like a horse on it, and it seems like there's kind of like a couple of different carriages going to and from the entrance.
Oh, okay.
And like they're already full operation going. Like you guys get there right at 3, and you're actually like literally like half the people have already arrived because everybody wants to get into this party ASAP.
I think he just if we're kind of strolling up at a similar time and you're like
Mhm.
making your way, you just see like a jaunty, very animated hand wave, and as he does that out of his sleeve, the white raven lands on his hand, and it just kind of gives you like one of those bird bows,
Oh God, that's so cool, Mister. How did you do that?
and the raven speaks to you. Thank you.
Oh shit! Did that bird just talk to me?
And jingle, jingle, jingle. You hear the bells on
Oh,
his
God.
little jester hat, kind of as he's nodding very, very fastly.
Oh, my
And
God.
He points at his mouth, which you see the carved
Mhm.
wooden creepy ass permanent grin on this wooden mask, and he points at his mouth and goes no, like a no
Like
gesture
a
with his
sassy
finger.
no.
Yeah, and then like thumbs at the bird that's now perched on his shoulder, and he goes, he doesn't talk much.
Oh, wait. Oh, the bird says that. Okay.
Yes, the bird.
Okay.
He doesn't talk much.
Oh, that's totally fine. I'll just talk to the bird. How's your day, bird?
The bird leans in close, like kind of like looking down, and kind of presses his forehead to your nose. Be wary of the staff. And they continue to walk and get in line.
Oh, shit, a staff. I like staffs.
As you guys are just kind of sitting in line, it moves very quickly. For whatever reason, the staff is just super efficient, well-oiled machine.
I think he doesn't. There's no words exchanged, but as they pass by, whoever's at the gate, kind of letting people in, the raven like hides underneath the frill of my coat. You notice him kind of tuck himself back into my clothes.
So there is one guard. It seems like a very strong word.
Yeah, I say guard, but like
there's one guard like at the thing, but it seems more like that's the person kind of like checking to make sure the invitation is legitimate. And
supervisor.
Then they're doing groups of 6 where like 6 people get onto the carriage, and then the carriage driver goes, and there's like 2 or 3 different carriages kind of going.
Are the carriage drivers the groundskeepers or butlers?
The carriage drivers are butlers.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
I think I would wait it back
and
to be in a cart
the guard is actually a maid, I'll say.
Yes, I would wait back in with to be in line to get in a cart with Donnie, and kind of give him one of those like ribcage nudges and do like a with his thumb at the cart,
all right,
and then does the no thing as he's kind of like gesturing towards the driver.
And so are you guys, the maid doesn't actually like, whenever you get to the maid, she just goes, tickets, please.
And he just, with a flourish, it comes out of his sleeve and he hands her the invitation. That's what he assumes he's talking about.
Welcome, valued guest. Please proceed.
Donnie will give like an elegant bow with like the letter in his hand, and then he'll hand it over to the maid. Hello, my dear. My name is Donnie Trovo. I'm here for a party.
I think you see
Wonderful.
I think you see Jangle literally look at Donnie slowly. There's no facial expression because he's wearing the mask.
Wonderful. You're very welcome, and thank you as well.
No, thank you. It's my pleasure.
Please don't try to outthank a maid. It's a professional courtesy of mine to outthank. Please.
Oh.
Thank you, and you're very welcome. I hope you enjoy your stay. I am grateful for your kindness.
I will be giving you
and
I will be giving you a 5-star review.
I will say, Jingle.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, both of you roll a perception.
Ooh, 12 plus 2. 14.
Ooh, 6. I'm so excited for this party.
Yeah, he's just so stoked to be at the party.
I am all about this
I got
party.
a 14 though.
Okay.
12 plus
14. 2. Okay. Neither of you noticed anything.
Oh no, at a 14 I didn't notice anything. Matt, we're gonna die. Matt, we're gonna die.
So yeah, you guys just get onto the carriage. Obviously it waits till it's got 4 people.
Yeah.
You're on a carriage with it looks like a married couple of kind of like some rich whoever, like so and so. They just look like generic rich old people, like literally Monopoly Man and his trophy wife.
Oh man.
Kind of energy. And then the other 2 actually, like one looks disheveled, like not like looks like a homeless guy who like tried his best to clean his clothing, but it's very clearly still not in great condition. And he's got a very thick, like scraggly beard. Like it looks it looks like someone who did their best to clean up without really having a good means of doing so.
I think,
and he is just
upon
very
seeing him,
excited.
Jangle reaches into his sleeve again and pulls a handkerchief out and passes it to him. And it's a clean cloth to kind of continue doing any primming and priming he might want to do. And there's also a crust of bread. And I just kind of give him a nod.
So he actually, like, whenever you hand that to him, he like does a like he goes like, "Oh, thank you. I did my best this morning, but
the raven peeks out of the center of his shirt and says, "You're welcome," and then kind of drops back in.
Oh, I can help you, mister. Also, I don't know your name, but I'll help out.
I will say he actually looks disheartened whenever you handed him that, because
I give him like I could tell
he thought he did a good job cleaning up, and you basically just told him you look like shit.
No, I know, but then I kind of gesture to him and give him like a peek out of my collar, and he gets like that whiff of like, I'm not clean either, buddy. Like he's trying to really press home, like a hand on the shoulder, like, I get it. I fucking get it. It's hard to make yourself not stink even when you dress to the nines.
I think Donnie kind of picks up with what his friend is kind of put down, and he's gonna figure guns at like both his friend and the like homeless looking guy, and he's gonna press a digitation both of them, but like just like pew 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 pew,
and we're like sparkly clean.
Yes,
dude, hell yeah! And I think I look at you for the first time and give like the double thumbs up, and the crow
double
the
thumbs
raven
up.
peeks his
Let's
head
go
back out of the shirt again and goes, exactly.
The rich man goes, "Good heavens! Well, at least that smell's gone, whatever it was."
Oh, that's kind of rude.
And then Jangle definitely purposefully puts his sleeve up to the guy and is like wafting his like just like
undead
acrid,
skin.
sticky.
It's back again. These horses. Oh, I know we need the beasts, but the stench.
And he like comically is agreeing with this obvious rich dickhead. It's just like nudges the homeless gentleman and kind of goes, "Can you like gives a can you believe it shrug?"
And then the one guest that I hadn't mentioned yet, they're actually not saying anything. They seem to be just a very quiet woman. Like they're wearing a very nice dress, but one that is very clearly designed to cover as much skin as possible. Not for like, more for like, it seems like she's just kind of like hands are kind of folded. She's very like trying to like guard herself, you know, like physically she's sitting in the seat and like she's got as much space as she can get between her and the like wealthy woman she's sitting next to. And like, so it's that kind of thing. Or actually, no, she'd have to be on you guys' side. So she'd be across from Donnie, where like she's making a gap, but you don't feel like because of you specifically, more just like she just doesn't want to touch anyone, and she's just kind of like head down, like not really speaking. Like she's hearing all this, and I'll say you heard like a little bit of a snicker or whatever, like that little thing went down, but like kind of like
I think
she
in
like
that
stifled
moment,
her own giggle.
I think in that moment, Jingle Jangle messages Donnie, and you hear in your head, a very eloquent, "Terribly sorry. I have lost my ability to speak personally, so there was no introduction, but I did want to press upon you. Keep an eye on those around you, staff especially."
Oh, I appreciate that. Also, my name is Donnie. What was your name? I don't really.
You won't get any because I used message.
Oh, well, I use message.
I thought message lets you send a short response back.
Yeah. He could. I can't respond to. He can respond back to me.
Yeah. Well, I'll shoot you a message back.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you for that. yeah, I'm just really here for a good time. So whether, it turns out good or bad, we'll find out, I guess. But my name is Donnie. It's a
And
pleasure
he-
to meet your acquaintance.
Yes, Jingle Jangle is my name.
Jingle jangle.
Amidst the festivities, there is a lingering feeling of unease that I have from personal experience. And that's all he says.
I'll give him like a little tiny like thumbs up.
Yes, just he's just kind of keeping you in the loop. Not so much that he's going to watch your ass. He's just like,
Hey, watch it.
watch yourself. I don't know these guys, but you don't seem like you know anyone here either.
Yeah. So while we're like riding in the carriage, I feel like we kind of hit like a lull in the conversation. Donnie has a really bad ADHD. He's always got to be doing something. So he's gonna cast a little minor illusion, and it's gonna be two little like mice. One's in like a little like tuxedo, like nice like dress clothes, and the other mouse is gonna be in like a little dress, and they're gonna be like ballroom dancing back and forth in like
I'm going
on
to
the little
also
floor.
minor illusion. I'm going to also minor illusion a tiny little grasshopper who's fiddling as these guys are dancing, and they're all kind of floating around the carriage with him. And he's doing like a marionette thing, and you can see like the strings of his magic going towards this image as he's making it move.
I will say the wealthy man and his wife are both like, they actually think this is really cool. The homeless man is still trying to tidy up because now he's really concerned about it.
Oh.
No, he smells great. I think he smells like an autumn breeze now.
Well, no. It's not necessarily like he can fix anymore. It's just like
We
he
called
thought
him
he did a good
Stinky.
job, and then like so now he's just like very self-conscious about it. Listen, no, the damage is done there.
Yeah.
Well, he tried to give him like the brotherly shoulder thing. Like he's more
like,
chilling with this guy.
It's definitely like it's one of those things where like if you walked up to someone and you were just like, man,
You got a little schmutz.
you'd look a lot better with a haircut. And
No,
like,
that's
even
not what
if
he was
you give them
saying
a
at all. It
haircut,
was
now they're going to be looking in the mirror and like,
we
does
can't
it
get
look
into
good
this
now?
debate because I get upset that a lot of you don't tell me these things. He's doing the little. You got a little schmutz. Why don't you get that before you?
Oh
get in bed?
yes,
It's
no.
fine. He wasn't doing like
nothing
you're
was wrong
a
with
filthy
your
man.
gesture.
Yes,
Nothing
okay,
was wrong
good,
with your
good.
gesture. This man just seems particular like he's particularly sensitive to it. If that makes sense.
Yes, no, fully
Yeah.
picking up what you're putting down.
Yes. This is more of his self-consciousness rather than like you did a taboo.
No, for sure.
And then the quiet girl does kind of like she's still like kind of looking down and trying to be withdrawn, but she does like, you guys are doing some cool shit with this. So they're like, she's like kind of peeking around, like she thinks it's cool. She's just like, trying her best not to engage, but it's hard not to engage magic because it's cool.
As an added bonus, as like our little like my illusions are doing their thing. I know that doesn't like have sound to it, so Donnie's gonna pull out a lute and start.
I'm so glad you said that.
Playing a little music.
Yes, and from underneath his like collar, he pulls a pan flute.
Yes.
And the raven perches up on his shoulder and begins to sing a song along with the violin going on, and we play in harmony with it.
Can we have a tandem
performance
check?
Yes, I want you to both roll performance.
I want to give him advantage. I don't want to.
Oh, you want me to have
no,
advantage?
No. I want you both to roll performance, and if your total is over.
Don't tell us the number. Let's see if we get it.
I won't tell you the number. If your total is over a value.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. Performance?
Yes.
Oh,
right.
18.
19? Hell yeah. I got 11 plus 6, so 17.
Let's go.
That beats the number.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
What was that total? 35.
The number was 30, so.
Oh, let's go.
And as we're playing, the crow is singing with like a very cool baritone voice, this like jaunty little like, like think Over the Garden Wall vibes.
Yeah.
Like the
I was thinking
the
the ghost song on TikTok,
yes, similar to that. That vibe meets like a almost like a like quartet of like the band, and like he just comes up and like perfectly singing along to the harmonies of our instruments.
Yeah.
So the performance role, what you get from
ass.
that is, so the people on the
that
carriage
motherfucker.
are very like intrigued.
Yeah.
Like they're encapsulated. And as you're kind of finishing your performance and you're pulling up to the manor, the carriage driver actually turns to you and goes, "That was a wonderful performance. You should go and speak to the head butler. I believe they may be interested in welcoming you to perform."
Oh, I would be delighted, sir. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. He kind of also Jangle also gives like a subtle bow, and noticing that, I'll use a minor illusion and put a black spot on the center of my raven's chest.
And then this is the last time I'm gonna let this like make you guys roll for it. I would like one more perception check as this carriage driver like makes that comment and then drives away.
Come on, dude.
If you guys miss it this time, I'm not giving you
I know, and that's why I'm looking. I only have a +2, so this is
I only have +2.
It's a 15 +2, so that's 17.
Ooh, let's go 18 for me.
Okay. I had a 14 last time, and you said no.
That's a 17 and 18.
You got an 18.
Okay. The thing you guys notice is, even though he says that very friendly like message, the moment like you turn just in your peripheral, his face goes emotionless. It is very clear that it is like it's performed as this like, oh, friendly human, and the moment like as you leave their vision,
yuck.
Like as they leave your vision, they go back to just like
and I
robotic
think
autopilot-y.
I think as I see that,
which obviously Jingle would recognize as how they acted the entire time you were around.
And I think in that moment,
you would clock this as evidence that Jingle was probably saying something accurate, because that wasn't like a human thing. That was a oh, he was this friendly. Oh, you should go talk to the head.
So this is Donnie's first time actually like noticing that something is really wrong. Do you think I could have an additional roll for insight or investigation to see if I can delve deeper?
I was gonna say you wouldn't even. I think naturally,
or actually, honestly,
to
even
confirm
Arcana.
your suspicions is what I was kind of doing.
If you want to do Nature, Arcana, like you can use one of these skills that's like prior knowledge to see if you could recognize this behavior.
I'm gonna draw.
Oh, you're trying to see what.
I'm gonna draw on my sorcerer like background and use Arcana.
I'm correct in thinking you're trying to figure out why this behavior is happening.
Yes. Okay, that's That's what I was about to say, because I was gonna because Jangle, as soon as that thing happens, he absolutely, you can see his eyes through the mask cut to you in like a sly did you notice what I'm talking about now?
Yeah. So Arcana.
And if you were curious, this is obvious. The maid also did that exact same thing.
Yep.
You guys didn't catch it.
I figured as much as I roll for you, I'm picking up on these things already.
All right, so I rolled 18 plus 4, 22.
Hell yeah!
For
that
Arcana
is very
check.
Good.
Let's go. Let's go, Donnie Trovo.
You recognize this
Uh-huh.
as the distinct behavior of a collective mind that's body is larger than its mind can like handle. So basically, like, there are some like creatures and stuff in the world that are hive minds, but there are kind of different tiers of hive mind. It takes more intelligence, and so basically, like, it seems like it's the kind of behavior where the whatever collective hive mind seems to be controlling these servants can only have like can only have its tendrils on so many controls at the same time.
Yeah.
So like as soon as it stops needing to control one, it pulls away and it goes to autopilot.
Got you.
But you can't necessarily, like, as far as you can tell, they are just like a human.
Yeah.
Like it's not like they're secretly some creature. Like it could be, but at least from that, you're picking up that it's a hive mind who has more drones than it can handle at the same time is what's going on. That is like a very distinct, like, that's what's going on. How they're a hive mind, like what the nature of this hive mind, you don't know, but you do recognize this is a hive mind with too many drones, basically.
Okay. I'll relay some of that information over to Mr. Jengul. Mr. Jengul, I have identified the issue that you brought to my attention. We are dealing with a sort of hive mind. And
yes, this is
yeah,
talking person.
It sounds like there looks to be that there are too many of them, and so that he can only really control, like the hive can only really control like certain aspects at certain times.
Yes, I noticed that earlier. I stopped in the area to do some pre-gaming, if you will, and scope things out, and they're very particular about certain portions of the area, and once you are spotted, many of them see you. And I'll message him to make this more realistic. They also have an ability to follow magical trails. I tried to use magic to escape, and though I was invisible for a brief moment, one of them was able to track the register of my magic being used without having seen me physically.
And I will say, just because this is something you definitely would have picked up on, it's something that Jingle would have picked up on just even with your low perception, because you came here earlier. One, there are guests walking on the lawn.
Okay.
There are no groundskeepers. Like the sheds are shut, all the tools are gone.
I think I would message him.
There are some guests who are walking around in the winter garden. Not very many in the other ones, because who gives a shit? They're not in season, so they're not very pretty.
Yes,
but
there were
groundskeepers.
There were other workers here in the garden before things started
hundreds
to pop off. A couple hundred plus.
Yes.
Of these workers, and they did not look like the butler nor the maid who are escorting us at this time. They were missing not limbs, but various features of their face and things like that, and quite deformed. And they also had that dead-eyed 1,000-yard stare as they focused on whatever task they were doing. I do not see any sign of them now. I fear they might be in those sheds. Just head on a swivel. They're watching us as much as we're watching the party going on.
Absolutely.
And as you guys because this was you guys kind of getting out of the carriage, the carriage leaving, all the guests are now coming to the door. Two butlers.
What a party.
Well, it came up, it like the carriage came, gross.
Yeah, you got it. There it is. Okay.
And it's like there's a circular kind of fountain where like it's like one of those circle drive kind of things where there's this lovely circular tiered fountain. You also notice how like the manor seems to be like generally kind of just shaped like a big pointy hat. I will say like the tower, just to give proper dimensions, the tower seems to go up like 100 feet. Like at the top it's cone shaped. And then like the kind of manor bit that's like the brim is like a 2-story building. So that's like what, 20, 30 feet tall. So like the tower goes much higher than the thing. And this thing, it's a massive manor. But as you get to the front door, Two butlers open the door for you, like from the outside. They like open the double doors so the guests can come in, and you enter into this manor's massive foyer.
Ooh.
Or foyer.
Foyer.
It's beautiful. It's got like all kinds of fine art on the walls. The main thing in here really is that there is a grand staircase that kind of goes up to that like kind of lofted section of this room, and like it like goes like flat for the loft, and then like it clearly keeps going up, presumably that's how you get into the tower section. But then there's double doors both on the left and right of the room, like at the far ends of like this room is also like that curved like room where it's about like 60 foot in both directions to get to the double door. You can go up the stairs, and there's also like double doors at like the walls there. So like you can kind of enter the rooms to your left or right from either the lofted area or the ground floor area. Currently, the door to the left is shut. The door to the right, like the doors to the right are open. But like there's not like anyone standing at the doors to the left. It's more like they just have the doors to the right propped open, and you can see that's the ballroom. And
there
like
any,
there's
like-
some people dancing.
I was gonna say, is there any butlery traffic or maid traffic that we can see going into that left door as people are spilling in?
There traffic is the wrong word. There are maids and butlers and everything like kind of scattered about, but they're more like kind of stationed. There's only
No, I'm saying the left
Yes.
doors that are closed. Are any of the staff using those doors?
No.
Okay.
It's just not where the flow of traffic is going. Like it's not like there's nobody by it. There's not like, yeah. Oh, and also obviously just for the sake of I know this, but I just every single room except for like every single room in this place except for all of the rooms in this place, huge vaulted ceiling. And almost all of them have beautiful chandeliers. Like this one, magnificent, massive chandelier of like blue crystals. Like every single room looks like you could retire if you just stole everything in this one room. You and like a family of 30 could retire.
Holy shit.
Yeah, like literally like this, everything about this place exudes wealth and like extravagance. The homeless man, quietly like, it was a pleasure to meet you all. I have business to attend to. And he quickly walks up to one of the maids, whispers something, and then makes a beeline for into the ballroom. But like the door is open, so like he seems to be heading towards like, if you're imagining this manor as a circle, like the inner part of the circular structure, like he's going towards the inner wall of that room down like a hallway. That's like in there. Like you can see him go in because like the hallway is kind of like positioned at the center of the back wall. So like it's pretty easy to see from your angle. But like once he like gets back there, the other guests just kind of go with the flow of traffic.
Inside of my shirt, I'm casting Find Familiar again to change the form of my raven to a bat.
Okay.
He's still in my shirt, hidden in my shirt yet. But
and I will say this whole place is very well lit with candles, but like they're not fire. They're kind of like they're candles, but their tips are like glowing bright blue. So like it's basically like you can tell like it's some kind of magical candle where it's not like an actual fire, but strangely enough, even though the lights themselves are blue, the rooms are actually lit with white light. Like it looks normal. Like even though all of the lights when you look at them are like tinted blue.
Mm-hmm. So
there's some kind of weird magic shenanigans going on with that. But like you both know enough magic to know like that's not crazy hard to do. I mean, it's impressive to see this many magical lights like this in one area, but like, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you two doing?
I think Donnie, like, even though he knows like something's up, he's gonna be pretty excited still to be at a party. So he's gonna be like mingling with like the guests and like maybe just getting like general vibes from like what everybody's kind of thinking, you know.
So go ahead and give me a persuasion again.
Okay.
I like that for just kind of mingling.
Yeah. Ooh, not good. 4 plus 6, 10.
Okay. So you don't really, it seems like everyone is like, it's not that they're disinterested in talking to you, but it's more like they're kind of like
just taken in.
They're they're focused on waiting, if that makes sense. Like this is like nothing kicks off yet. So like there's not really any food out yet. Like there's very like every now and again, there's a couple of people like waiters walking around with like hors d'oeuvres, and I'm calling them waiters, but they're just maids.
The same maids.
They're not wearing a different uniform. Everyone you're interacting with is either a maid or a butler, and like they're all in the exact same uniforms. Most of them are just kind of standing around waiting for like, they're kind of like an as needed, they'll serve guests kind of thing.
Okay.
I will say something that Jingle will notice is there's significantly less of them than you saw earlier. Like
I think
earlier, whenever they were preparing, there were 100 plus that you could see. Right now, it seems like almost skeleton crew, but they're also much more natural. Like you wouldn't notice those tells of like something's up if it weren't for the fact that you already knew they were there. So
I think as Donnie is going off to mingle, I kind of linger at the front door, and out of my sleeve, kind of like with its little like four hands and like and feet, I kind of tuck my bat off to like a corner near the door, like behind the door almost, and go in myself to start mingling. And then once like there's not a lot of like eyes on that area, the bat will fly down the hallway that the gentleman walked down after speaking.
So I will say it's still very well lit in here. It's low traffic, so I will say you waiting for the right opportunity
it is
would
a
give you
tiny
advantage,
beast.
But the fact there's so many eyes,
yes,
I would say give disadvantage. So I think it's just going to be a flat roll because basically like you put yourself in a good position in a bad position, like yes.
No, for sure. Okay, so flat roll.
Flat stealth roll. Yes, flat stealth roll, and I'll let it ride.
Let's see.
So like, for whatever shenanigans you're about to get up to.
Yeah, I just want him to go down that hallway where we saw the gentleman who I helped out go down. He had a nervous energy about him, and this is like semi like worried he's doing something shady / worried he's getting into something shady that might cause him to disappear from the festivities per se, if that makes sense. Like something's off.
By the way, how many... I'm using acres, and I really shouldn't have, because I knew the distance I wanted. The fucking property is a mile radius.
Oh, okay.
Whatever that is in acres,
whose
mile. That's how long it is.
Whose stealth am I taking into account for this? Me
you're
hiding the bat, or am I using the bat?
No. It's the bat. The bat.
Okay,
is
that's
the
what I'm
thing
making
that's
sure.
hiding. Yes.
It's plus 2, so that's a 17 stealth.
Bat.
Okay. I will do 1.
He doesn't have a stealth, but I'm going off his plus 2 to dex.
No, that's perfect. And honestly, I would even give a bat proficiency. That feels right. But, okay. As far as you can tell, nobody noticed. You were able to kind of wait. You actually realized it was better to go basically whenever guests weren't around, because it kind of seemed like the more guests are around, the more the
Staff is around, yes.
came to like, well, not necessarily more staff were around, but more like the more people were around, the more human the staff seemed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because like basically like if they don't have to, they don't. So like if nobody is looking at them, they don't act human. But if there's a lot of people around, they have to keep it up. So like yeah.
No, that tracks.
So you'll fly
He's
down
going down
and
that hallway, and something I would say he has 2 abilities. Well, one I'm going to probably use more than the other. Echolocation. This bat can't use blind sight while deafened, but he can basically use blind sight as long as he's not deafened.
What's the radius on that?
It doesn't give me a radius on here.
So then what's its vision then? Because that might just mean its vision is the same as its. Well, normally it'll say like blind sight 10 feet.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. 60 feet.
Okay. Perfect. And just to make sure, blind sight, and this would also make sense with echo, but blind sight doesn't go through walls, right? That's tremor sense that can see through.
Yes,
walls.
I believe
just blind sight, just like.
If it's completely in darkness, he can make out things.
Yes.
And then
like,
keen hearing is the one I'm probably going to be taking most advantage on. His passive perception is 11, but he has advantage on perception checks based around hearing. And that's kind of what I'm using him for. I want to hear if I can make out any footprints or footsteps where he went down this hall, or like doors being closed, so I can eavesdrop on what's going on.
So I will say, you go down, it's a pretty short hallway, honestly. And then at the end, there's not like doors, but it kind of like is like capital T shaped. Like it just kind of goes left and right. And then there's 2 signs that kind of like are posted in the end of the hallway with like little arrow symbols. And basically the left sign, and I will say, and this is something I should have mentioned, everything is gilded. Like everything
like
is
gold
gilded.
Trim and all kinds of gaudy
this thing,
shit.
whatever exudes like poor people disgust me in architecture, that's what this building is the embodiment of.
And that's the thing. And in character, Jangle,
like random marble statues for no fucking reason, like on little pedestals.
Even without seeing these butlers, from Jangle's just perception of everything, Jangle just he feels out of place in that he wants to just level this shit, light the whole thing on fire.
Like, you are literally in the first area, and you're like, I think this one building has more goddamn wealth than the entire city next to it.
Oh my god.
Like, this thing is grotesque. Like, even those wealthy people you came in with were like, oh, how wonderful.
Oh my god.
But anyway, getting back to the bat adventures. So there's 2 arrows kind of pointing to the different paths. One says greedy. One says greedy, the other says wealth.
Greedy and then wealth.
Yes.
I think I'm gonna go down the wealthy path with the bat. Okay. If I don't have any perception that I could do to see if I could hear him. His passive
no, you definitely
11.
Could. Passive 11 plus, well, like keen sense, doesn't that just add to his passive?
No, that just gives me advantage on perception checks. Like if I do a check
go
myself.
ahead and roll.
Okay, so that's very good, and that's a 20.
That's okay, perfect.
20 plus 121.
So he actually did go down the wealth. So you hear, because there aren't very many guests, and you hear like, and you didn't see anyone else really go down here, but you just hear like the sound of like a faucet running and like scrubbing. And basically as the bat flies in, it's just a stalled bathroom with like, the bathroom has 4 stalls. It actually is very like, it's considerate in that like, it actually has like a, is it handicap stall or is that not what it's called? Like those stalls that are larger.
Yeah, stall for disabled stall. A stall for disabled folks.
So like there's even that. I mean, obviously it's gross bougie, so everything is gold and bullshit.
He didn't go into the bathroom. My main thing is just monitoring that guy ensuring nothing happens to him being away from
Yeah.
the party / if he was doing something more mysterious.
And obviously, like, not that it matters, but like something that I think you might do an investigation. Just, I know it seems weird to ask for this. It's basically just like there's a weird detail that you might not pick up on, but you might pick up on.
What? Hold on. That's a 14 plus 1. Is an intelligence based thing. Yeah. He has a -4. So that's a 10.
Holy shit.
Okay. So even with a 10, I think even with a 10, the thing you notice that's kind of weird is the disabled stall isn't like at the end. It's like in the middle of the stalls. Like normally it's like at one of the ends of the row of stalls. This one is in like it's the third stall.
Okay.
So there's 4 stalls total, and the third stall is the disabled.
And they're not
which
covered.
Is kind of just,
do I see anything odd beyond just it's a toilet in there?
No, yeah. I mean, obviously the door is like it's not open, but it's like semi. Like when people
like
aren't in it.
When I'm
like,
picturing stall, I'm picturing it where it's like got the over part that's not covered, but like you could
yes.
look down.
Yeah. No, like it is full. Like it is full public bathroom stall thing
set up.
It's just there's just stalls, and then there's 4 stalls, 4 sinks, and like there's no urinals or anything. Like it's all stalls. But it's just a weird thing to notice. Like it's weird that they put it there.
Interesting.
But then, granted, the homeless man whose name you didn't ask, he is currently he's basically he has fully taken his pants off and is using soap to try to get some stains out that he didn't notice.
He shouldn't have any stains left. Matt,
no, I thought you fixed the smell. He just fixed the smell.
I press
prestidigitation cleans stuff. Like you can get minor like shit off. He made me and him really sparkly and clean looking.
Oh, okay. I fully missed that.
No. That's okay.
In that case, he's not.
Is he maybe psyching himself up in the mirror or something?
Well, so I'll say he is. He's like trying to clean up his beard, like not like dirty, like even it out. Like he's got like a very rusty pair of scissors or whatever, and he's just kind of he's grooming himself. Basically, he wants to look his best, and this is also like the first time he's had access to like a sink and running water for a while. So
then I guess
he's also like looking to check.
I'm uncomfortable leaving him in there with this toilet.
Yeah, but that's all he's doing is like he's just kind of.
Is the toilet a mimic?
I don't know. Also, there'd be 4 minutes because there's 4 toilets.
I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna land as the little bat on the toilet in that center stall. Does something happen when I touch inside of there? Like, it feels weird that you called out this weird toilet. I want to make sure I'm not missing, like, the toilet's going to eat this man, or...
As you sit on the toilet, your bat sits on a toilet.
Yep, he did. Oh, we got a new picture for Tyler to draw a little bat sitting on the toilet.
God, I love it.
Yeah, no, after that doesn't do anything, I think, like, he would just, like, poof him back, and he's just back in my shirt.
Oh, yeah. But that's what he's doing.
Yeah. So yeah, I think I would just wait and mingle with people. Maybe start doing like a few performance-y, like silly things.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, and I will say that is one thing. So earlier you did notice in the ballroom in that loft area, like they had like the piano, and it does seem like there's a couple other like there's kind of like there's a little.
Does the
chunk.
music sound like it's coming from?
No. No one's playing. Okay. No one's playing yet. That's because it's still like. It's still party hasn't started yet. So like there actually isn't any music. So it's just like very low, like chit chat. Cause like, it seems like either the performer hasn't gotten here yet, or maybe they're not starting until the actual party starts at 6 or whatever.
Jangle's going to snap his fingers and his upper half of his shirt turns into one of those like suit tops with the
with the long
tails that dangle
tails,
down,
yeah.
and he's gonna walk over to the piano and kind of sweep him back as he sits down on the bench, crack his knuckles, and start playing out a little jaunty, little piano riff, just something
All right.
something real quick.
Give me performance.
Hell yeah. That is 19 plus 6 numbers.
Ooh,
25.
25. Damn.
That's pretty good. So I will say, most of the guests actually, basically, it seems right now like the guests
Like this is
are-
very ballroomy thing. The
Yes.
shit he's slapping out on this piano right now is full ragtime taverny.
Yeah. So-
like really slapping
Oh
the
my
keys.
god.
I will say the quality of it is so high that like even people who don't necessarily like this genre normally, like even if you don't like a genre,
is
you can
purposefully
recognize this is a
slamming the
really
keys
good
hard.
fucking version of the genre.
Like just
Yeah.
slapping them.
Yeah, like you rolled high enough that like people are genuinely like impressed. And you actually kind of get there. Most of the guests were already kind of going this way anyway, but now they're really like, you're actually kind of forming a crowd. You can actually get a head count. It seems like there's about like 30 of the guests, even though it's only 3:30, just like literally half the guests got here as soon as they could. It does seem like the crowd has slowed down significantly. Like it seems like all the early people have come in. And I will say, Donnie, I'll give you advantage on an investigation.
Ooh, yes.
Well, I
To
got
kind of
distracted.
like,
I was
Yeah.
going to say that too.
more because because you've gathered all the guests that are currently here, I'll give you advantage on an actually, I shouldn't say that. Whatever you're doing, I'll give you advantage on what it is. Whether that's sneaking off, whether that's investigating, whether that's like whatever you want to do. His performance is good enough that whatever you try to do will be at advantage.
Okay. Trying to think about what Donnie would do. I think with the distraction, Donnie is going to use this opportunity to cast a spell. He will use we're going to do a little detect magic.
Okay.
And I would like to get just a little vibe of like, obviously,
so detect magic is you gain that since
for
what is
about
it,
10
30
minutes.
feet around?
Yeah, 30 feet
around
for
you for
about
10
10 minutes. Yeah.
Okay.
And
Is there any way you're kind of looking at specifically, or?
I definitely want to check out the crew, all the staff of the manor. I also want to. I know, because of my background, I know of things that are magical, like obviously like the candles and stuff. So I wouldn't like really pay attention to that too much. But anything that just like feels like it would catch my eye, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Anything that like looks out of place, anything that like just seems abnormal for like what we're here to do, which is have a party.
Right. Okay. Give me just 1 second, because that it gives you School of Magic, right? Or is that only if you focus on it?
So I can sense the presence of magic within 30 feet. I could use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn its School of Magic, if any. Yep.
Okay. So you're getting a little bit of evocation from the lights, which that's just, I think, I think that's the right school for lights. That's the one I didn't look up, but it's the school for light.
Yeah.
So like doesn't strike you as odd. There's a couple of like small stuff where it seems like just some of the guests kind of like did something kind of similar to like what you did earlier, where like they used magic to clean themselves up or smell a little nicer. None of that seems out of the ordinary. One thing you do pick up on that does seem very strange is all of the staff have a blend of like residual divination and transmutation magic on them.
Okay.
Like not like just kind of like, it's just kind of like one of those things where it's like, it's not, there's no active magic there. It's just kind of like
It's residual, yeah.
Yeah, it's very residual, like
leftover, like
more like leftover remnants of magic.
Okay.
And I will say also, just because you cast this spell, I'll just tell the audience and as well, this seems like what was probably cast in order to follow Jingle Jangle earlier, where they basically followed a residual trail of conjuration, I think is teleportation magic.
I have to look at what it is. Yeah.
But yeah, basically like you can, if you're skilled, if you can perceive high enough and you have detect magic, you can kind of like track that kind of magic because it leaves a little bit of a trail.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And you're getting like the after.
Yeah. Do I see any threads of magic between the staff members?
Give me a perception.
Okay. And it'd also be if I let me do this.
So because
is this with advantage?
It is not with advantage.
Okay.
The only reason it's even possible is because you have detect magic.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that's fair.
Because like basically the faint different types of magic are larger. Like some of it's easier to see.
Ooh, not great. Perception. 10.
You get like a glitter of something. You would have to get much closer to one of the staff in order to be able to tell, but you would be able to tell, but you'd have to get very weirdly close to, like, you know what I mean? Like, you would have to get close to the staff in a way that would be potentially noticeable.
Yeah. While it's still up, I will go up to one of the members, actually. I'll go up to a staff member. Excuse me, my name is Donnie. My friend over there is the one playing the piano, very eloquently. On the way here, one of the drivers actually told us we kind of had like a little song. It was really beautiful and magical, and it was really just off the cuff. And they basically said that if we wanted to do a performance, that like we should talk to like the head like butler or something. Would that be possible? Like how does that work?
Oh, yes. That sounds lovely. If you can just go to the kitchen, it is it's you're just gonna keep going down the keep going to the end of this room, and then it is one room down. So you will have to go through the dining area, which is very low maintenance now. But just on the other side of that is the kitchen. I believe he's in there.
Okay.
And yes, that sounds lovely.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I can't wait to hear your performance.
Oh, and I can't wait.
And don't forget to also bring your pan flute fellow.
Oh, absolutely. Ooh, that's weird. Okay. I didn't.
What's up?
No, Donnie didn't say that out loud, but in his head, he's like, okay.
What's up? What happened, bud?
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Weird. So did that get me close enough to?
Yes. Roll this with advantage because, like, you were able to make the approach natural, and you have advantage from his performance.
Okay, so rolled a 13.
Okay, with advantage.
Yeah, I rolled a 11 and a 10. So, and I have +2, so okay. 13.
I will give you that you can persistently see like a little flicker, but you can't see, like, you can't get a clear enough picture to know the school, but there is some kind of weird, like, thread of some kind of magic coming off of this maid. and like going off somewhere, but like you can't really follow it, and it's hard to tell what, but you do see there is some kind of thread of magic coming off of her.
Okay, got you. Yeah, so after that, I'll head over to Mr. Jingle.
I'm doing like a bow to the people as they like finish up the song or whatever.
Thunderous applause.
Yeah, Donnie will walk up and just kind of clap and just say, Mr. Jangul, that was so beautiful. I cannot believe just how beautiful that was. That was amazing. I didn't know you could play more than one instrument. I have words, can't remember words. We can meet with the head butler if you would like. I kind of got us in, talk to one of the maids, so we can go talk and kind of maybe snoop around a little bit if you want.
He kind of gives you the okay gesture, and he kind of pats on his shirt for a second, and a black raven instead of his traditional white raven kind of like peeks a beak out and kind of clicks it at you before going back into the shirt.
So if you want, you could just follow me, and we'll go.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Talk to the butler and like do a little winky wink. Like,
no, you don't have to do the wink. He gives you like a hand on the shoulder and is like gesturing, spread it on thick. Like he's like pretending to butter a piece of toast with way too much
jelly
butter.
The long way.
Exactly, man. I'm telling you, I'm picking up what you're putting down. You don't have to tell me the code. I'm the one who gave you the code.
Oh.
But he's totally down to follow, and we head towards that thing. And as soon as we're out of the room with those people,
there are. So you come into the next room. There aren't any guests in this because the doors were shut for this one. But there are. It seems like there's like 5 kind of like servants in this room. They're just kind of sitting like. And as soon as you open the door, they kind of like do a little curtsy towards you. But because you guys know about it, you know they literally like just started being a person as you entered the room.
Yeah.
So they give like a little curtsy and then go back to just kind of hanging out, just waiting.
Just standing like the fucking I Am Legend monsters.
The dining room is like fully... The dining room is like fully prepared. It's a bunch of circular tables with like nice floral decorations at the center of each one, with like fresh flowers, presumably from the garden because they're all like the winter flowers. But other than that, there's not really like it's ready for food, but there's no food out here yet, obviously. And once again, you just walking by, you notice there's exactly 10 tables that can fit our 6 seats apiece, so exactly enough for 60 guests. Then you're gonna go into the next room, which you're hearing a lot of like kitchen-y noises, like just pots and pans, like not like slamming them together, but like kitchens make noise, like you're hearing grease and everything go. And as you enter there, this actually has probably like 10 different chefs, sous chefs, like just a bunch of different people preparing this massive feast. None of them are saying anything. They're all just kind of focused on their work, really hammering it down. And you can clearly tell like they're actually not dressed like butlers. They're actually like dressed like like they're dressed like chefs rather than, and one person, not of those 10, is like kind of walking around and tasting the like finished dishes. Like anytime one is like finished, they're kind of like doing an eye check. Like they're like doing a final check kind of thing. And then they look up and see you and big smile. It's a very well-groomed man, like looks like 25, but like very put together for 25. Like he looks like he has a full handle on life, despite the fact he's like fresh-faced baby boy. walks up in his perfect butler outfit, everything symmetric, beautiful. And he goes, "Oh, welcome. I am head butler, Master Giovanni Wilchester. You may call me Wilchester or Giovanni, or hey, you over there. It's totally fine, whatever you prefer. What can I do for you?"
What's up with that butler? That butler is pretty crazy. I heard Tyler is close to being revived, so hopefully he'll be back in the next part. I'm sure he'll be able to solve all these tricky math problems. Now press repeat.